then there were two. After 3 months of hard-fought match play, the 6-team Major League 5-pin bowling field has been reduced to 2. Team Wilson takes on Team Atwell in the final at Recreation Lanes in downtown Brandon. The rules for this final, the same as the 2 semifinals. 3 bowlers on each team. Each individual head-to-head contest is worth 1 point, and the team total is worth 2 points. So 5 points are available in each game. And this match will consist of 2 games, the winner being decided by the 2-game point total. In the case of a 5-5 tie, total pinfall will decide the champion. As you see there, Atwell and Wilson going at it in the final. Team Atwell beat Team Mansell in one semifinal, the Wilsons beat Team Borman in the other. Team Atwell comprised of Aaron Jaworski from Brandon, who averaged 206 in the regular season, compiled a win-loss record of 25-15, the best mark on his team. Chad Clisby of Ninette averaged 195 during the regular season, earning 12.5 points for his team. And rounding out the squad is the captain, Terry Atwell, who has appeared in 15 Provincial Open Championships. He led his team in average during the regular season. His career-high triple, a very impressive 978. And for their opponents, the Wilson team, it's the all-family team. Christy Wilson, 2-time provincial singles champion, averaged 220 during the regular season, winning 21 of her 40 matches. Christy's brother Ken Wilson led the league with 26.5 points during the regular season, averaged 239, which was the 4th best mark in the league. And Christy and Ken's dad, Bob Wilson, with 14 wins in the regular season, his career-high single, 425. We picked the first game up in frame number 3, and it's the leadoff bowlers, Chad Clisby and Bob Wilson. See there, Clisby with 25 through 2 frames, and Bob Wilson, after an open in the first, came back with a strike in frame number 2. Chad Clisby still has not found the middle in this first game. Bob Wilson trying to follow up punches that head pin through. Chad Clisby.
Alright, Chad, all sticks. All sticks.
He will miss out on the spare opportunity. Wilson trying to clean up after punching the head pin. Pulls that one through the hole. Terry Atwell, the captain of his team, speaking with Aaron Jaworski, who's getting set to come up second here. Chad Clisby winds up with a 15 count in the 3rd frame and 40 his total through 3 frames. Bob Wilson trying to salvage 10. He'll do just that. And so 45 for Bob Wilson. He has a 5-point lead on Chad Clisby through 3 frames. Slow start for Aaron Jaworski in this match, just 22 through 2 frames. And Christy Wilson started with a right corner spare and a strike. Jaworski off the mark again, 5 on his first frame. Christy Wilson right back on the middle. There's a strike for her. Back-to-back for Christy Wilson. Jaworski, 206 average in the regular season. Can't get the corner to fall there. So the 3rd straight open frame for Aaron Jaworski. And Ken Wilson's going to let Jaworski finish up here. 321, Aaron Jaworski's high single in the regular season. 720 his high triple. He'll settle for 13 in the 3rd, just 35 for Jaworski through 3 frames. As Ken Wilson tries to make it 3 in a row, another hot start for him. He's there, and they all fall again. Ken Wilson has himself 3 in a row. once again leading the charge for his team. Terry Atwell, the captain, a strike in frame number 1, spare in the second. Back on the middle in frame 3, but he leaves the bedposts. Aces for Terry Atwell. So a clean slate for these two teams in the championship final. 2-game final it is, and as we mentioned off the top, the Wilson team coming back to beat the Bill Borman squad in one semifinal. They came charging back from 4-1 deficit. They lost the first game of the 2-game semifinal 4-1, but won on total pinfall in the second game of that match. That's how they got here. The Terry Atwell team upsetting the top-ranked Mansell squad in the other semifinal. And when you look at these two teams on paper, we give the edge to the Wilsons. They finished in the regular season with a .219 team average, which was third among the 6 teams. They're 101.5 points, also third. The Atwell team actually had the lowest average in the regular season, .206 their mark. But, they proved that that doesn't always tell the tale. Their average was 21 points lower than the Mansell squad, but the Atwell's pulling off the big upset. Atwell team finishing with 89.5 points in the 7-week regular season, which was, of course, good for fourth and final playoff spot. They finished just half a point ahead of the 5th place Clisby team. And Shad Clisby missing that corner in the 4th, and a 13 count for him, 53 through 4 frames. Not the start he was looking for. Bob Wilson also struggling a bit off the hop here. Wilson manages to get the 15 count. He's at 60, so a 7-point lead early on Shad Clisby. Aaron Jaworski still looking for his first mark of the game. And a head pin there. Second head pin of the game for Aaron Jaworski. Christy Wilson, meanwhile, rolling along here. Back strikes. And you can make that 3 in a row for Christy. That gives her 75 in the second. And 2 more strikes counting in the 3rd and 4th. So she's well out in front of Aaron Jaworski. He's just trying to clean up here and take his 15. Captain Bob Wilson. Strong effort from him in the really a team effort for the Wilsons in their semifinal as they came charging back and defeated the Norman squad. All 3 bowling very well, and the last games of the season at an opportune time. Wilson has been the leader for this team in the last few games of the playoffs, and another hot start for him. Ken Wilson with 4 in a row to start this game. And he's got his team off on the right foot. Wilson, as a matter of fact, started out the last game of the semifinal match against the Borman team with 4 in a row, so he knows how to start a game, that's for sure. See the pinfall there. The Wilsons already ahead by over 100 pins and have not yet reached the midway point of this first game. Shad Clisby, maybe a few nerves for him. He has not yet hit the middle in this final, and that his 5th attempt. Wilson open the 4th, finds the middle here, but it's his 2nd punch in 3 frames. So Clisby and Bob Wilson continuing to have their struggles. Shad is going to get the spare there. for his first mark. And Bob Wilson, after the strike in 2, this will be his 3rd straight open frame now after the punch. Recreation Lanes, the site for all 7 weeks of regular season play, and this is the inaugural ML5 season. Playoff game as well. Aaron Jaworski on the board, his first mark, a slow start for the ML team. Clisby and Jaworski. Takes both of them 5 frames to get on the board with a mark. Terry Atwell, he going along nicely early on here, coming off a strike in 4. Tapped it for a second in a row, and he's got it. Terry Atwell. Strikes again. His team average on regular season 218 and 15 and 22. 314, Terry's high single. Christy Wilson working in the 5th frame. And after 3 straight strikes for Christy, back in the middle in 5, she leaves the right corner standing. And nonchalantly goes up there and picks it, no problem for Christy. Great start for her. And if you want to say the match is over yet, there's still lots of time here, but big lead for her on Aaron Jaworski early on. Ken Wilson, meanwhile, he's rolling along but getting some stiff competition from Terry Atwell. Wilson, after 4 straight strikes, he punches in the 5th. Really good ball from Ken, but not to be this time. Realizes the importance of that wood, though. You never know how close it can be in the end. It can come down to 1 or 2 points. You never know. It could come down to total pinfall. That, of course, is the tie-breaking if they go to in the case of a tiebreaker. If the point totals are the same, pinfall becomes the determining factor. And Ken Wilson manages to clean up there in the 5th after the head pin. 151-point lead for Team Wilson at the midway point of this first game. Bob Wilson with 14 wins in the regular season. 254 was his high single. And a little thin with that one. He catches a piece of the head pin. Gets a chop out of the deal. Shad Clisby, meanwhile, just off the middle again. Shad Clisby not get much going. Still hasn't hit the middle in this game. Wilson going out to despair, and he's got it. Clisby well off the mark on that one. Aaron Jaworski back there trying to settle Clisby down a little bit. Still early here. Christy Wilson, meanwhile, takes out the left 3-2. And Shad Clisby, a nice ball there. Cleaning up in the 6th frame. 88 his count through 6. He's still in his match, though. Bob Wilson, a bit of a slow start for him, too, so that match still very much up for grabs, despite Shad's tough start. Christy Wilson will open here in the 6th. 168 her count through 5. So on pace for a big game. Jaworski now. He's off the mark with that one. Tough start for the 1 and 2 bowlers for Team Atwell here. Aaron Jaworski and Shad Clisby in 6 frames have only hit the middle 3 times. Jaworski accounting for all 3 of those hits. Jaworski trying to get his 15. He's got an uphill climb here against Christy Wilson. And a 15 count for Aaron Jaworski in frame number 6, raising his total to 90. But you see Christy Wilson there, 178. Ken Wilson bounces back with a strike in the 6th. He recorded strikes in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did a good job in the 5th after a tough luck punch. He managed to get to 15 and right back on the board with another strike in frame number 6. Terry Atwell, there's another one for him. That is 3 in a row for Terry Atwell. He is getting the job done and sticking right with Ken Wilson. A good match shaping up here in the anchor position. Still over 100 pins, the spread. Look at that team total. Shad Clisby finally finds the middle. It's going to end up as a chop. Important for him to keep on plugging here because, again, he's in his match despite the struggles. Bob Wilson, on the other hand, will try and take advantage. Good looking ball there, but Bob leaves the corner. He's had his troubles at direct lanes here, thrown some very nice balls throughout the season that not quite translated into strikes for him. But you got to hit the middle, and he's been doing that here in this opening game. Only 2 misses through 7 frames, but he has a couple of head pins, a chop, and a right corner. So. And can't pick up the spare there. And he's not happy about it. Shad Clisby. Also failing to convert the spare. He'll take 12 in the 7th. He sits at an even 100 heading to the 8th. Wilson, his 2nd attempt is good. He takes 15, 115. Bob's total through 7 frames. Go to the number 2 spots, Aaron Jaworski and Christy Wilson. Bob Wilson and Ken, the father-son team there, looking on. Good looking ball there, Aaron Jaworski. Strike in 7, his 2nd in the last 3 frames. Christy Wilson off the mark. She'll take 5 there with her first ball. 7th. Christy, a very accomplished bowler in the youth ranks. She's been to the Nationals. Terry Atwell, he's been to the Nationals quite a bit too as an adult. 15 appearances at the Provincial Open Championships over the course of his career. Christy Wilson with a 10 count in the 7th. 88 in total through 7. Still with a sizable lead for Aaron Jaworski in their match. Ken Wilson now. 5 strikes in his first 6 frames, and he has a strike on the board here as he goes to work in the 7th. Which is the 3 out there, though. Ken Wilson led his team average during the regular season, 239, 4th best mark in ML5. It's 26.5 points individually. Was number 1 in the league. 76 hit percentage, 76% hit percentage for him, second in the league. And Ken Wilson, another one of those bowlers like Brad Ball, really the complete package. Good on his corner pins. He hits the middle and comes through in big situations. Ken Wilson, his high single this season, 337, the high triple, 801. Top of the lineup we had, Bob Wilson. And he gets rewarded finally there with a strike in frame number 8. For Bob after a couple of bad breaks, and Shad Clisby misses there, so he'll fall behind a little bit more by the looks of it to Bob Wilson. Christy Wilson, meanwhile, trying to pad her with Aaron Jaworski. There's the right corner standing there. He had a very respectable 66 right corner spare percentage in the regular season. Shad Clisby makes his spare an 8. Christy Wilson trying to convert her spare. She's already 2 for 2 on right corner spare attempts in this game and make that 3 for 3. Good show from Christy Wilson. Not letting those corner pins bother her one bit. And again, 3 for 3 in this game. She's looking awfully good. Aaron Jaworski, things outside of Terry Atwell, the captain, things not really going well for the Atwell team. Shad Clisby and Aaron Jaworski having their struggles here. And Wilson back on the middle there. Gets a little tug from the string and gets that corner to fall. Another strike for Ken Wilson. Coming up next, he's engaged in a pretty good battle with Ken Wilson here. Jaworski picking up the spare. Jaworski at 110 through 7. 78 pins behind Christy Wilson. Terry Atwell trying to stay with Ken Wilson here. Ken with the strike and 8. Terry hoping to respond. And it looked not bad, but it didn't quite, tailed off at the end on him there and missing the mark. So he'll count 20 in the 7th round. That gives him 201 through 7. Which is slightly ahead of Ken Wilson, the pinfall total at this point. Still the Wilsons with the edge. Get down to crunch time. The first of 2 games in this semifinal. This championship final, pardon me. $2,200 going to the winner of this match. Just over 50% of the total prize pot. Tough break for Bob Wilson there at 9. Good punch. And Shad Clisby. Corner to fall. Down the middle though, which is a good sign. Bob Wilson. Big sticks for him in 9 here. Still a close match between him and Shad Clisby. And big 5 there for Bob. Chance for Shad Clisby, meanwhile, to inch a little closer. Makes the spare, no problem for Shad. That one will come right down to the 10th frame. Shad Clisby and Bob Wilson. 5 points on the deck here for Wilson. No problem for him. So Bob Wilson at 155 through 9 frames. After the open frame, and Shad Clisby counting a spare in the 9th. Aaron Jaworski, good count on his spare there with a 13 count. Gives him 138 through 8 frames. Wilson knew as soon as she let that one go, it's off the mark. So she counts 20 in the 8th. That brings her to 208. Christie had that hot start, and she's cooled off a little bit here in the last few frames, but still a comfortable lead on Aaron Jaworski. Trying to clean things up here, and she'll have to settle for 10. So Wilson still out in front as far as pinfall is concerned. 62 the difference. Shot here from Carrie Atwell. Spare an 8. Gets the friendly kick there. And a big strike for Terry Atwell, keeping his team in the game here. There's a chance at topping that 300 mark, as a matter of fact. Terry Atwell. Ken Wilson in the 9th. Looking ball, but he has a tough break there. Head pin for Ken. Good job there, taking out the right 22. 26-13 record for Ken in the regular season. He split one match, 26.5 points, #1 in the league. 55-point lead for Team Wilson as we head to the final frame. Shad Clisby didn't hit the middle until the 7th frame in this game, but still right in his match, and he knows that's a big one. Shad Clisby. His first strike of the game comes at a fantastic time. Gives him 158 in the 9th, which puts him 3 points ahead of Bob Wilson. Bob Wilson coming right back with a strike of his own. So Clisby responds, a little off balance there again. Just to find the middle, but pops that head pin out. Tough break there. Opens the door for Bob Wilson to take this first match. He too will count 5 on his second ball. Clisby takes out the 2-pin, a 180 total for Shad. And it's up to Bob Wilson now. Still has a chance to win this match. But he blows it by, and Shad Clisby edges out Bob Wilson 180 to 175. A missed opportunity there for Bob. He Needed more than 5 to win the match, and he had 10 points on the deck, and this is the mark there. So the first match goes Shad Clisby's way, and not his best effort, but he gets the point for his team. Christy Wilson, meanwhile, and she misses the mark. Jaworski gets the spare, but that won't be enough. Christy Wilson will win this match, so point apiece. And takes out the right 3-2 there. Jaworski after the spare, and 10 trying to finishing touches. His game, he'll do just that with a strike and a 188 total for Jaworski. So tough start for Shad Clisby and Aaron Jaworski in this final. A combined 366 total for them. 368, pardon me, and pinfall still up for grabs here. 13 points the difference. The Wilsons hanging on to that lead. And Terry Atwell with a chance to get it done for his team here. Right on the mark, and Terry Atwell comes through with a big strike. The veteran getting it done and leading his team by example once again here. Shad Clisby and Aaron Jaworski having their struggles. Terry gets the strike, and Ken Wilson punches the 3. His first ball on the table. So surprise, surprise, perhaps, after the way this game started. Wilson's leading the way all the way through in pinfall. Looks like Atwell's squad is going to sneak away with 4 of a possible 5 points. Just like they did in their semi-final. The underdogs once again, the Atwell team, and putting themselves in a good position to capture this inaugural Major League 5-pin championship. There you have it, the final. 682 to 650, the 10th frame decides it. Terry Atwell team grabs a 4-1 lead on Team Wilson. Game 2 is coming up next.